Fox 40 Focus Report looks at who has oversight of the Sacramento Police Department. And there is frustration and disorganization keeping the Sacramento Community Police Review Commission from doing its job, keeping the department in check.
Even though it was formed years ago, current members say they're not doing the work they signed up to do, and they're losing their patience. Fox 40's Jean Nguyen reveals what's causing the holdup in reforms and why the police are pushing back.
Our officers want to do the best job they can to serve their community.
They are sworn to protect us. But what happens when they end up hurting the ones they're supposed to keep safe?
Shots fired, shots fired.
We live in the real world, and there's always going to be situations that don't end the way that we want them to.
Timothy Davis is president of the Sacramento Police Officers Association, the union representing the city's men and women in blue. And when things don't turn out the way the department expects, the Sacramento Community Police Review Commission steps in, providing suggestions on policy changes to hold them accountable.
The commission is responsible for giving the city council advice on policies and programs related to the Sacramento Police Department.
Commissioner Mario Guerrero was selected by Mayor Darrell Steinberg 4 years ago. As a former chairman and one of the longest-standing members, Guerrero says his patience these days is running low.
I'm certainly frustrated, but the more important frustration comes from the community.
Show me your hands, good.
Over the past 4 years, during this time when Sacramento officers killed Stephon Clark,
5-7, shots fired, 7-8 down,
who was unarmed, and during the social justice marches that followed the death of George Floyd at the hands of Minneapolis police, Guerrero says more than 100 recommendations have been made to update or change police department policies. They range from diversity to use of force.
Requiring ethnic studies for new peace officers, to surveying people that applied for to become a police officer but failed to do so, and they were of diverse background.
But of those 100 recommendations, only one has been voted on. Last May, the City Council approved a new use of force policy, making it the last resort for officers. But Guerrero says that's not enough.
One recommendation alone isn't going to change everything, right? And so that's why we have so many recommendations in the pipeline.
A November 2021 audit report from the City Auditor's Office showed there's a reason the commission isn't getting things done as fast as they had hoped.
One of the things that was clear to us is that there was a lack of clarity in defining the roles and responsibilities of the commission.
City Auditor Jorge Oseguera says a lack of staffing and resources is to blame for the lack of action. He says the City Council, the Commission, and the Police Department often have different opinions about policy recommendations, which makes them difficult to approve.
Dedicating specific staffing resources to them to help support the commission, helping to facilitate outreach for the commission so that they have greater visibility.
All of these complications, Police Union President Davis believes, are because of who makes up the commission.
As it was first constituted, we had a good mixture, of people with experience and training, myself and the captain, and community members.
Davis has been on the force for 24 years. Back in 2015, he was once a part of the 11 members of the commission.
And there were 2 police officers on the commission. One was a retired captain, and one was myself representing the rank and file officers in the department.
But in 2016, Davis says he and other law enforcement personnel were removed from the commission. Now, none of the members have any law enforcement background and are either appointed by City Council, the mayor, or the Personnel and Public Employees Commission.
If there's nobody on the commission that has a background in that area, it's very difficult for them to come up with ways for us to improve. They grasp onto whatever topic is in the news of the day and then try to come up with a way to implement a policy. And that's not the way to set policy.
911, what is your emergency?
After multiple requests for an interview, Police Chief Kathy Lester refused to speak with Fox 40 on camera about the commission. But during a meeting with them in March, shortly after being named chief, she acknowledged this.
We have a lot of policies that need to be updated.
Chief Lester spoke about her concerns with the commission, echoing the same issues as Davis.
The commission does great work, but really the commission, our volunteers and our policy division is a substantial group of men and women that work on this full time.
It's this kind of pushback that Guerrero not only expects, but believes is one of the reasons for the holdup in making policy changes.
We don't come up with these recommendations in a vacuum.
Since Chief Lester has taken over, Guerrero admits it has been a bit easier to communicate with the department. Ultimately, the goal for both the commission and the police department seem to revolve around the same thing: the safety of the community.
The mission of the Sacramento Police Department ultimately is to provide safety to our citizens.
The community wants change, but they also get tired of coming to these commission meetings and really nothing moving forward with the exception of the one recommendation.
The push for change caught in a web of bureaucracy. In Sacramento, Jeannie Nguyen, Fox 40 News.